Ok, anh Jimmy.
Namo Fundamental Teachers Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teachers Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teachers Shakyamuni Buddha. The answers pass deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to the fatum, the thus come ones, true and actual meaning.
William, I hope you ride safely, okay?
Yes, I'm not driving.
Oh, you are not driving?
No.
Okay, good. That's the good news. I don't want you to drive. Wow, you in the class. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Okay, we continue on where we left off last week. This one is the new one. Okay, go ahead, William.
Who did you ask to read?
William.
Oh, me, okay. The excellence and benefits of bodhicitta, praise to the one who gives birth to bodhicitta. The Buddha has said that whoever hears an evil thought against a benefactor such as bodhisattva will remain in hell for as many eons as there were evil thoughts. But if a virtuous attitude should arise in that regard, its fruits will multiply far more than that. When bodhisattvas greatly suffer, they generate no negativity. Instead, their virtues naturally increase. Shantideva continues by advising us on how to behave towards a bodhisattva. He quotes Buddha Shakyamuni as having said that one moment of anger directed towards a bodhisattva, this peerless benefactor of all sentient beings, contaminates the mind with an enormous non-virtuous residue. As a result, we will abide in the intensely suffering realm of the hell beings for as many eons as there were moments of anger. However, if we generate a virtuous mind, such as faith towards a bodhisattva, the fruits of this action will multiply even more abundantly than the results of an angry mind. While anger towards a bodhisattva is thousands of times more non-virtuous than anger towards an ordinary being, faith in a bodhisattva is far more meritorious than faith in an ordinary object.
Okay, good. That's good. Stop right there.
Okay. So it's discussing the consequences of just negative thoughts, not even words or actions against. And oppositely, the benefits of positive thinking. It highlights that these aren't balanced, like a negative, like on of suffering in hell, but a positive thought, it's way more positive in its benefits than the negative one is negative. And I think that makes sense because the bodhisattva's intention for all beings is to benefit them. So if one is thinking positively of the bodhisattvas, well, there's not just the benefit from one's individual thought, but then they can also benefit from the bodhisattva's intention. But if someone thinks negatively of a bodhisattva, then they're going to cut off that bodhisattva's ability to assist them in any way. And, you know, because these are holy beings, the consequence of those angry thoughts are magnified because we cut off the benefits of having an affinity with them, a good affinity with them.
Do you think that the one who anger or have a very evil thought against the bodhisattva, is that really cut off the good affinity with the bodhisattva?
I mean, they not from the bodhisattva side. like the bodhisattva will be unaffected by it. Like their compassion for that being will be completely unaffected by the angry thought. But that person shuts the door, right? If they don't have any openness or faith in them, they limit the ways in which that bodhisattva can help them.
So that means eventually they still have the link with the good link with the bodhisattva anyway, don't you think?
Yeah, I think even if someone like harms a bodhisattva, like takes an action to actually hurt them, eventually the bodhisattva will use that affinity to benefit them.
That's correct. That's correct. That's why that's why in the Dhammapada, the Buddha said that if someone using the resentment against us, right, and we also using the resentment against them, then that means the hatred. Do you think it will end or will not end?
Will not end.
Yeah, will not end. But if they are using the hatred against us, but we use loving kindness and compassion to deal with them, eventually, don't you think the hatred will gone?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually,
that's
it may,
why.
depending on how serious it was, it may take shorter or longer, but yeah, eventually.
Yeah, doesn't matter the time, right? Long or short, eventually it will gone.
Mhm.
That means the one who harm or evil to the bodhisattva, they still be able to, they will be able to be saved by the bodhisattva anyway. That's a good thing, right?
Oh yeah.
In the in the Dhamma Flower Sutra, I remember one time the Buddha said that if someone cursing the Buddha, right? Yes, he will have the heavy offensive karma. But if someone cursing the slander, the one upholding the Dhamma Flower Sutra, that offensive is much more heavier than the one that offend the Buddha. You remember that one?
Yes, I was thinking about that in the chapter on Bodhisattva never disparaging.
Okay.
Because in that chapter, they ridicule him, they throw stick at him, and then later he, becomes a Buddha and saves them, and they're, disciples and they're bodhisattvas and they're in the assembly. So even though they made that mistake, they still ultimately, found the way.
Rukaya, you understand? If someone using the resentment against the Buddha, yes, they will receive the very heavy offensive karma. But if someone else using the resentment against the one who practiced the Bodhisattva path, basically, the offensive karma will be much, much heavier than the one against the Buddha. You know why?
I don't understand why, because I would think it would be the opposite. I would think,
Usually when we usually think like this. If someone against the Buddha, they will pay very heavy karma compared to the one that against the Bodhisattva, don't you think?
Mm.
But in Buddhism, we don't think like that. Antimi, you understand the question?
Yeah, but yes, I do understand
Do you know
what
why? Why?
the effect of how that we have treat the bodhisattva. I remember correctly some other sutra or dharma I heard. If you heard either the Buddha or the Bodhisattva, then you will be got whatchamacallit, what the word in my mind. Kinda,
Harm the Buddha, right? Let's say harm.
yes. Yeah. If you harm the Buddha, then
You will get very heavy karma, right? But if
correct.
you harm
Yeah.
the one who practice the Bodhisattva, the evil offensive will be much greater.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes,
will
sir.
explain to you why.
Okay. Thank you.
Buddha, basically, he already reached to the complete state, right? The perfect state. There's no way for him to retreat from that state. That makes sense? Doesn't matter what we do to him. You praising him, it will not increase anything. And you, I mean, the Buddha, I'm talking about Buddha, he will not increase anything. Or you slander him, or you cursing him, there's no decrease on his own state. Because his mind is the complete enlightenment. But the one who practiced the Bodhisattva, he not perfect yet. That means there will be a chance for him to retreat from his state, try to get to attain enlightenment. That makes sense, William?
Yes, Thai.
So that's why if we cause the one who practice the Bodhisattva to retreat and no longer want to practice Bodhisattva path, no longer want to benefit the living being, this is very heavy karma. Does it make sense to you, Rakaya?
It makes sense.
That's why it's very important. Don't cause anyone that when they're doing good deeds, right? Always praising them. Do not try to create any obstruction or obstacle in their way, and make them to retreat. And this is very heavy. What do we understand about virtue? Rukaya, what do you understand? What does the word virtue mean to you?
What does virtue mean to me?
Mm-hmm.
Virtue to me, I guess it means to hold yourself to a certain like standard, I guess, like
You
but
mean
like a good
discipline?
standard.
You mean discipline?
Yeah, like or like morally.
Morally?
Yeah, to have high moral standard maybe for yourself. Yeah.
William, what do you understand of virtue mean?
Yeah, so for virtue, I think the essence of it is bodhicitta, where our desire is based on benefiting all living beings, and then all virtues flow from that. So it requires like the virtue of patience. If we're going to try to benefit all living beings to the point of them achieving Buddhahood, we have to have patience. And we have to have discipline, generosity. So all of the perfections or the paramitas would be examples of some of like the main virtues.
Well, there are many degrees, just like there are many degrees of virtue, right? But the very essential, you just say that it's the bodhicitta, because the loving kindness and compassion, and loving kindness and compassion requires patience. So patience is very important for virtue. Let's say that if someone always do good deeds, right, for their whole life, is that considered to be virtue? And Jimmy, what do you think?
Yes, yes, that depend. If you continue, they also do good deed and have a compassionate mind
Mm,
and kindness, then yes, it will be they will have virtue.
mm,
But on one thing that Buddha always saying that make sure you do the right thing and help each other, not do the bad things, kind of hurt others,
mm,
or you thinking other before benefit yourself,
mm.
then that mean that you will create more virtual. Just do in the morning or do something when you see people, just say hi or smiling with them, kind of thing like that, and help them any kind of way they need.
Mm.
That's how I understand it. Hey, yeah, move on.
Thank you. And Rukaya, do you think that the one who love to do good deeds by only solely good deed, is that good enough to be considered virtue?
Mm,
You see a lot of people well, let's say not a lot, but many, well, let's say the rich people, right? They donate a lot, they contribute a lot to charity. Is that considered to be virtue?
I mean, like technically, because they're helping people, but I wouldn't say that'd be the only thing, because I could give all my money to someone and then turn around and not live a virtuous life by benefiting off of people's suffering. So, I mean, I wouldn't say just doing good deeds or just giving is enough. I think it's a good start, but I don't think it's necessarily enough to embody, I guess, the full principle of living a virtuous life, I guess.
William, what do you think?
Yeah, it depends if the person is giving purely. If they're giving and then later they're upset with the other person because the other person wasn't grateful enough or didn't treat them kindly or whatever, then it wasn't really pure giving. It was like a transaction. So I think like, giving is virtuous if it's not transactional. If when the giving happens, we're mindful of the emptiness of giver, receiver, and gift,
Mm,
and we try to experience it kind of like if it's raining, or it's just like a natural phenomena that's occurring. That is, we're
mm,
all everything is one.
mm. Wow, interesting. Yeah, basically, given myself is not considered to be virtue because material, we just give our material, inner or external, it doesn't matter. But if we do not know how to transform our affliction mind, right? The mind of affliction. That means if someone trigger our anger, we get angry, and that angry will burn all the blessing that we generate in the past. That's what is not considered to be virtue. And the given is it's more easier to practice than the virtue itself. The virtue is not easy at all because it requires great patience. And remember, the patience for worldly patience different than the Buddha teaching patience. What are the different, William?
Mm. I mean, the Buddha's teaching of patience is really supreme. I mean, the Buddha will, over lifetimes, teach and convert living beings, and there's no rush whatsoever. It's just, it's perfect based upon what the individual needs. It's our patience is more of like a restraint a lot of the times, I think, where some negative emotion is like pushing to the surface and we restrain it. I mean, the Buddha doesn't have anything to restrain because he's free of the three poisons. So
Yeah, if if we patient by suppress the emotion, right, feeling, that is not patient. That is not true patient. You know why? Because it's a timing bomb. It will eventually explode. But once it explodes, oh my God, it will create even more disaster than initial anger. So one of my lay person here, very close to the temple, he asked me, I help him to understand the difference between blessing and virtue. And the virtue is required patience, and I helped him to understand the difference between patience in the worldly patient and also the Buddha teaching patient is different. The worldly patient, that means when someone insult us or angry at us, we can suppress it emotionally. But that suppression become a problem. It's called a timing bomb. It will eventually explode. Once it's explode, oh man, it's very the disaster. It caused even greater damage than the initial anger. Right, William?
Yeah, I've definitely seen that happen and have experienced it, firsthand myself.
Yeah, that's dangerous, and we don't want that happen, right? We don't want that happen to us. And the patient, the Buddha teaching is when someone is very tough to practice, but if we have a method to practice it, and this is help us to when we deal with the most difficult negative environment or situation. That means the people who cause us problem. Who are they? Well, maybe our family member, husband and wife, children, sibling, parent and children. When we live together, not always we have the good time right together. We do also have the bad time together. But when we encounter the bad time, what usually we do? We react. And that's not virtue at all. Okay, that is not virtue at all. But if we understand the Buddha teaching and we know how to practice the patience from the Buddha, then yes, instead of we react, we we try to be patient with understanding. The problem with the patient from the worldly patient is we suppress our feeling without understanding. Is that true, William? Oh, I could not hear you.
Yes, that's a common strategy.
Yeah, because we don't understand it and we just suppress it and to hold back our reaction temporarily. But with the Buddha teaching, we understand the negative situation that we encounter right now. We use the teaching as the good contemplation. Remember, this is a good starting. Let's say that we have a conflict between brother and sister, right? Let's deal with that. Sometimes I saw this thing happen. I have one of the good friends. She and her sister, right? Well, she invite thank you. She let her sister and sister husband to stay to share a room inside her house. So they using the garage converted into the room, right, for them to live, and with one condition. You know what is the condition? Because she is a vegetarian, she expect that them to eat vegetarian while they live in their house. And you know what? Of course, the couple did not follow that. One in a while they cook meat, right? Well, that's why it's smelly, and that's why she be able to find out. And once she found out, right? What did she do is she yelled at them, no mercy, and kicked them out of the house. And right away. And she she practiced Buddhism as well, but she cannot be able to hold her anger with patience. Okay, she kicked them out. And with that incident, you know what? They do not communicate for 3 years. Is that worth it? It's not worth it at all. It's a small thing, then we turn into a big deal, and it become a very difficulty to one that thing done, we cannot undo it. Once we damage it, we cannot heal the situation. After the mom, right? And you know what? After them break out, and the mom lived with them, right? No, with the younger sister. And the younger sister is on their side. And that's why she cut off all communication, include the mom. Is that worth it? Not at all. Is that considered to be virtue? No.
No. But I have a question though. Thầy Dạ Mô Phật. If the one have, thinking eating veggie all their life, why she's not, given, why does she want the other individual to eat veggie like her? I don't think that's fair for the other party to do.
Is that considered to be love and kindness when we force others to do the way we are?
No, we're not
No.
supposed to do.
Yeah.
For the
not at
love
all.
and kindness, that you need to change yourself, not change other.
Right.
Because the way the Buddha teaching is, regardless who they are, whatever the case is, maybe even the prisoner or whatever the case, if you do the right thing and you change yourself to be whatever that you want to be, first of all, or do the good things and good deed and the right thing, and let others do their own thing, then they will, right?
Well, if we have wisdom, we understand the Buddha teaching correctly, and we always contemplate on the teaching. Yes, we be able to handle it with that situation in the calm way, not in this way.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm confused on that.
So basically, vegetarian, it doesn't mean that it Buddhism. Okay, you see the cow, they eat grass. They are vegetarian, don't you think? So eating vegetarian, it help us to practice love and kindness and compassion to other beings. But we don't see that. But we see it at the form instead of the practice. Right, William? They're
Yes.
not good at all. Practice is inner, not outer. As long as we understand it and we know how to transform our mind when the situation happens, that important. Everything else is not important. Right, Rukaya? This is important. So with this situation, what should we do? How do we deal with it? William?
Well, I mean, I live with this situation. So my wife is not vegetarian. My daughter is not completely vegetarian. I encourage them and I talk about it periodically.
Uh,
When I buy most of the groceries, and I just don't buy meat. But if Lisa ever wants to buy meat, she can buy it herself. If I were to say like, hey, there's no meat in the house, and try to do that, it'd create conflict. There would be probably even more meat in the house.
that's right. That's right.
So just being vegetarian myself, it ends up causing Lisa and Samaya to eat
Right.
vegetarian a lot more often.
It's chaos. It can be.
But anytime in the past where I've tried to like apply like leverage or really try to get them to, it just upsets them, and it doesn't bring any sort of change about. So
Right.
yeah.
We should not have the mindset that okay, because I do this, I want you to do the same. No, never do that. When we set that mindset, that is a big problem. The problem is from us, not from them. We are the troublemaker, not them. We are the one who make ourselves suffer, not them. Can we claim on them? No, we cannot. Because our mindset, our view, it's like that. We attach to our view, our thinking. Any attachment like that causes us suffer. So let's say that. Okay, let's put this aside. Okay, well, we let our sibling live in our house. We say that I would like you to encourage you to eat more vegetable and be vegetarian. It's a good deal, but don't force them. We can explain them the benefit, right, to become vegetarian, but never force them. If they accidentally eat meat, it's okay. It's not a big deal. We suggest that, okay, yeah, I would like you, if you live with me, I would like you to eat more vegetarian, because when you cook non-vegetarian, I cannot take that smell. And you know what? You say that, okay, if that's the case, you can I didn't mean to put you out, but because when they need help, right, we give them the hand, right, to help them to stay there for some time, and encouraging them that they can find a place for themselves. So that's okay. One day be able to find a place, we help them to help them move out, and always keep the good relationship with them. Because we are the one who practice Buddhism, we are the role model. If anything that we do that become any kind of anger, that means they look at us, you practice Buddhism, how come you get angry like this? Is that how the Buddha teach you? But they don't say it out, but they say it behind our back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not good either. Okay, so we should be a good role model for them. Try not to cause them any negative thinking. But let's say now, let's come back to another example. I have another example. Let's say that someone always causes a problem. They give us a lot of trouble and money or whatever. Then how do we deal with it? In the harmony way.
Mm.
In what way are they causing financial problems? Just like
Let's
never.
say that they have some kind of gambling, right?
Oh,
Okay, and they always ask us for money. And they cause us a lot of trouble. It affect our family as well. And how we deal with them in a good way. Well, they borrow money from us, right? They keep borrowing. They say that they will pay back, but they never do so. Then what should we do?
Wouldn't you just not give them any more money at that point? Because it feels like you might be like, I guess, not enabling it, but if you already know that
Mhm,
money's gonna go to gambling, then the best thing to do for that person
mhm,
and for your family is to just not provide financially
mhm.
and probably try to provide a different sort of support, I guess.
But should we force them to pay back what they
No,
mm,
because what's the chance that they will pay it back? And so if you always just have this expectation that, oh, they're gonna pay it back eventually, they're gonna pay it back eventually. I know me personally, I would get mad because I'm always
maybe
expecting them to pay me back and
right.
they're not. So I just think it's best to just not expect it at all and just try to let it go.
Okay, how about if someone, let's say our partner cheating on us, then what should we do?
I've got experience with this. I will say I the way I handled it was just I had to let it go
Mm,
because I knew that the karma
mm,
it's not worth me trying to confront that problem,
mm,
and I would react badly, I'd react negatively, and that will bring unnecessary bad karma to myself. I already know that there's something in store for that person for cheating,
mm,
something way bigger than me.
mm.
So why lower yourself and risk bringing bad karma upon yourself?
Wow, that's good. That's a good starting point. Because the question I'm asked, why I asked this question is my one lay person here. They asked me, how do we deal with the one that cheats on us, and we have children? How do we deal with it? William, what do you think?
I think there's a lot of variables in that, but and there's a few options probably. One option would be, and this is assuming we know that someone's cheating on us. We don't just like, we're not just thinking they might be. Like we know for sure.
Yeah, I think it actually happened. They know for sure.
Well, and then it depends on the individual's like goals. So if the individual is open to celibacy, I think it would be something different than if they weren't. So if they wanted to take the child's interest first and stay in the same home with the other parent, I mean, a very difficult, and I don't think this would be an ordinary normal course,
Mm,
but if they were able to
mm,
um, get over their relationship with that person and say, okay, this person cheated on me.
mm,
I'm done having a relationship with them, but I don't really need to get into another physical romantic relationship. I want to take care of my child. I can forgive this person and understand that, they're driven by their desire. This is not like an enlightened, awakened choice. They're kind of lost. And so whatever, like they can do their thing and I'm going to focus on being a good parent for my child.
But
But if someone really feels like they need to be in a romantic relationship, well, then they may need to leave that one, or they need to negotiate something with the partner where it's understood like, okay, we're living together, we're taking care of this child, but we're no longer romantic partners. We're just a parenting couple.
don't you think that's the better way, or instead of break out and each one walk on his own her own way and leave the children in the chaos? Which one is better?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the choice should be made with the child's well-being in mind, and then an individual also knowing their own like needs, if they can be celibate or they can't be at that point in their life. But yeah, the anger is what blows everything up because of the feeling that the cheating is personal. and it's about the person, you know, like if I'm cheated on, it'd be very easy for me to think that it was about me and then get angry and then like lash out so I didn't have to face the thoughts and the feelings that I had about the scenario, like whether it be, you know, insecurity would be a big one. So, but if we can let it go, if we can just get that, you know, all right, this is the reality of the situation, and accept it and not make it about ourselves and not need to like act out of anger, then we could find a way forward that was peaceful, and that person could still, you know, they would lose the relationship with the person they cheated on from the way it was, it would change, but they could still, you know, they could go pursue what they wanted, and the person who'd been cheated on could pursue what they wanted and still take care of the child.
It's tough, but and this is where this happen a lot in our world, right? This happen a lot. That very sadness, it really happened. And usually we react. We don't care much when we get angry. We care less about the children, right? Because that when we got hurt, we want to hit them back greatly, and that is the normal situation of the human react. Well, it's really tough. It's really tough. I understand that, but how do we contemplate using the Buddha teaching to contemplate and can cool down this thing instead of heat it up? That is the part. It's very important, because if we don't know how to do it, we just suppress our feeling. Eventually, this will flow out, and it's even worse. So, the first thing, which, well, this is my opinion, I think it's the first thing we should ask. We usually look at other, we look outer, we rarely look within us. When the negative thing happen, instead of look at other, we turn the view inside and look within us and ask ourselves why this thing happened to us. Maybe in the past life, nothing happened by itself. Everything happened for a reason. Just remember that. Everything happened for a reason. Due to the cause, this is the effect. If no cause, then no effect. And that means in the past life, maybe I'm the one who cheat on that, on him or on her. Even worse than this. If we realize that, and we, instead of we claim on that person, we claim to ourselves. Then we say that, oh, maybe I did that to her in the past, and now she returned with this to me. Then this is the law of cause and effect. Then, well, I'm willing to accept whatever happened. But the most important right now, if I have children, I would like my children to be healthy, live in a healthy environment. Then I should talk to my spouse, right? Yes, I know that that happened. It's okay. Well, we don't expect that happen, but now it happened. Look like you find the one that you think that more it's perfect. It's better than me. It's okay, but I just want to make sure that the thing that right now it happened on the parent level will not have any negative impact on the children. I'm okay to let you live in one house, just like nothing happened. You walk on your way, I walk on my way. But we just pretend that we live together to make sure our children still have parents. And never tell the children, tell bad thing about your spouse to the children. No, never do that. Even though we separate, we still not want the children have any negative against their parents. That is not healthy at all. Right? If we plan any negative on the children, the result, we destroy their life. And we don't want that because that's our children. And we don't want that to happen to them. So we just say that. If one day they find out, right, they say that, yeah, it's okay. Because right now, we just have a different way of seeing things differently. It's okay. If your mom on that way, it's okay. As long as we together take care of you, that's all. But if she not want to live with us, that's all right. We just say, okay, it's okay to separate with one condition. Never, we have to talk with the children. So three, that means, let's say we have one child. Let all three talk together. But we don't tell much about the negative to the children. We just say that now we cannot live together, but doesn't mean that we have any resentment against each other, because but you now you can we will fully support you and provide you whatever you need for your healthy environment as well for your growth positively. And just ensure both of us never tell bad thing on the other side to the children. That's important. Always praising instead of insulting. That's important. Right? Is that easy to do? No, it's not easy at all. But when we be able to openly say it out, and that means your emotion of anger, it will dilute. Right? It's no more timing bomb. It will not explode. And if you want to contemplate even more, remember the 7 steps of cause and effect, right? The first step is think about the one who caused us problem. That is our mom in the past life. We've been through made countless past life in the past, in the death and rebirth cycle. And when we were her children, maybe we are not a good children at all. We're not a good children. And now that happened, it's okay. So we accept that person as our past life mom in the past. And the second step is we should always have gratitude toward the mom in the past. And the third way is we would like to repay, right? Why we gratitude to the mom? Because since the day we in the mother womb until the day she delivered, it caused so much pain to her. Could cost her life, right? And when we get out, we still rely on the mom milk for 3 years. Mom milk represents the blood and nutrition. And since that, they are the one who raise us all the way up, even the 60-year-old children, to the parent eyes, that we just like their baby. That is the compassion of the parent. So when we contemplate the positive like this, eventually all the negative thoughts will die out. It's tough, but it doesn't mean that we cannot do it. Yeah, it's doable. If we know the method, we can be able to do it. We always contemplate on this to make sure all the negative thoughts occur in our mind, reduce greatly, eventually it's gone. This is important. And the third one is we repay her kindness and compassion. That means we accept whatever they done to us. So when the parent make a mistake, if we are the one who are the good children, never condemn them for their mistake. That's not easy, right? But because they are parents, they are the one who give birth to us. And they are the one who raise us. If we, due to the single or the mistake they make or whatever the mistake they make, we just discredit all the good thing they put to us. That's not fair. Don't you think it's fair? Rukaya?
I have a question about that though,
Uh-huh.
because I think in my experience, especially with like Islam, they used a lot of times it was used to be kind of like manipulated, that sort of like thinking of your mother, your parents done all these great things and carried you for so long, but it was used to where how do I explain this? Where anytime there was time for like accountability on like the parental end, that, oh, but I'm your mother, oh, but I'm your father, and I've done all these things for you. It was kind of that sort of thinking was used to kind of, oh
Put
God,
you to
I don't know how to
repay.
explain this.
So put you to repay back them later on in life, right? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm trying to say a lot of times that sort of like philosophy, and I do agree that parents are very important and you can never really repay them back for things they've done, but it's used sometimes in a very like manipulative way
Mm-hmm.
to avoid accountability,
Mm-hmm.
especially from like a child's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't do any wrong, they can't do any wrong because they are the parent. And so I guess hearing that sort of like
Oh, okay,
way of
okay.
thinking is very like
No,
it's
no,
very
no, no. Let me take it back. I think you might misunderstand me.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's okay. Parent, it do you think parent ever make mistake?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Sure, parent mistake. It are we have we ever make mistake? Yes, we are. Why? We are human. Human mistake is always there. How do we expect the parent never make mistake and we are the one who make mistake? Is that fair? No,
No.
it's not fair. But mistake, of course, sometimes it depends on the degree of mistake. But
Mm.
the thing I am trying to say here is, even though parent make a mistake, we should not condemn them.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that we embrace their mistake. No, we don't. We don't want. It doesn't mean that we say that their mistake is okay. It's correct. No, I'm not mean like that. Yes, we admit that they make a mistake.
Mm.
Yes, they are. If we say that they make mistake and we're not okay with it, are we going to kick them out, or are we going to cut the relationship or communication? Is that fair with them? Are we going to discredit all the good things they have done to us? Is that fair? Never fair. Yes, we acknowledge they did make mistake. Can we be able to forgive them? Well, in Buddha teaching that we can forgive others. How come we cannot forgive our parents? In Buddhism, Bodhisattva, under the eye of the Bodhisattva, they no enemy. Who is the most number one enemy of the Bodhisattva, of us? Rukaya,
Ourselves.
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 Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ourselves. What the thing is considered ourselves? Our greedy. That is the number one enemy. Because why? When we are greedy, that poison harm us. That put us to the lower realm in the existence, rebirth. The second one is our hatred. Is the
Bless you.
that is the second enemy. The third one is the ignorant. That means lacking of understand the truth of the universe or the Buddha teaching. What we call the law. That is the third one of our enemy. Not them. The enemy of people, the external enemy, that means consider people is our enemy. They only harm us physically one life, the current life. But the inner enemy, it not only harm us within this life, but many life after in the rebirth cycle. Does it make sense? Because we holding the resentment. You see the war going on between country and country due to their hatred and resentment. And they don't see that is the enemy, but they see other people is the enemy. That's why we have war going on. If everyone see internally, our enemy come from inner, not from outer, the world become peace. No war. Does it make sense? The war, the violence only happen when we don't have peace within us. Right, William?
Yes, I.
So that's why I say that consider our parents, even though they make mistakes. Can we just be able to forgive them? Yes, we should. It's worth it to forgive them. Why do we need to forgive them? We should holding on the good connection, help them to walk on the right path. That's the ultimate repay for their kindness they have done to us. Instead of we cut them and we put them into the wall, into the corner, and they even make more mistakes. Is that how we repay? No. That's why the Buddha said that even though you use your whole wealth, the wealth let's say we are very rich, we are a billionaire, we use the whole wealth that we have and help them live happily, healthily, and enjoy the material. The Buddha said that that is not how you repay the parent kindness. Because that only benefit the physically, materially, not the mental. The mental is more important. So if we really want to repay our parents, of course we have to provide the need for physical, of course we should. But more importantly, we support them to help them to walk on the right path, to be more morality. Yes, that's why they can be able to do good deeds and avoid the mistake, avoid the evil deed. And they will not fall into the three evil realms in the future rebirth. Right, Rukaya? Yeah.
The three evil realm. I think that's
The
what
three evil realm, that means
I heard about that.
animal realm, hungry ghost realm, and hell realm.
Oh.
In the Buddhism, the death and rebirth cycle, there are six different realms or six different existence where we can go to rebirth due to our karma we pray. Heaven is the highest, good place. Secondly, the human. The third one is the Asura, Asura. It's called semi-god. That still considered to be a good realm, but lower than the human. Human is more better. The other three considered to be the three evil realm. Realm that means REALM. Okay, three evil realm that means the animal realm, hungry ghost realm, and the hell realm. When we become enlightened, we will be able to escape from this death and rebirth cycle. Does that make sense? Okay. I think time is over. Oh, too much over. I'm sorry. I did not pay attention to the time. Any questions so far? I hope it's easy to understand, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it's easy to understand. I think I'm gonna do some more outside research on the realms because I wasn't familiar with that at all.
On Saturday.
I didn't know Buddhism really had like a hell
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I did not.
oh.
I thought it was kind of like a figure of speech, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't know it was like I didn't know. So
On Saturday, every 12:30 to 1:30, I teach the kids 7th grade all the way to 12 or to adult. The Buddhist cosmology. You can join them and you learn a lot about this thing.
okay.
Okay. Sometime I forgot to send you the link, but if you remember 12:30, if you have the same link here, you can click on.
Okay.
All right, Rukaya, go ahead and read it.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. May people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity. May their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find a ward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
You're
Todd.
welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
you.
Jimmy.
All right. All right. You guys have a good night. Thank you. Bye bye.
You
Good
too.
night.